Pipe, random question. What's the worst thing you've ever done in your life?
Oh, the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I don't know. I think sometimes I think about how horrible I behave with some of my ex-girlfriends, or just like not girlfriends,
Just people?
just chicks I was sort of dating with, but I didn't care about it at that time, and I kept looking for something else with someone else. So it was like I was cheating on girls, and it felt I didn't feel anything bad about it, but deeply inside I knew it was a horrible thing to do, because I was like, well, if this chick kicks me out, then I'll have like these other two to keep, I don't know, talking with, or sleeping around with. That's something that I had a bit of.
That's the worst thing you've ever done. You are sugar coated.
Oh. I don't know, man. I can't think of anything really. I'm a good person. Tell me about you. What's the worst thing you've ever done in your life? Did you kill someone?
No. Not on purpose.
No, I just remembered something else.
Not on purpose.
Oh, okay. Wow.
No, well, I hope not.
Sean Jones, Mornington. What's your address? Police.
Good.
What?
Well, you said I'd do it or something.
No.
Why is it my turn? Honestly, I feel like if I think about my past, there's a lot of bad things.
But what?
I think one that jumps out straight away is like stealing. Like, I don't know how many times I would just open up my mum's purse and take money out for lunch and then lie about it. But I was just a what's the word? Reoccurring liar. I just used to like own the lies. So like I knew I was lying, they knew I was lying, but I would never stop that lie. I would never stop that lie. I think it grew, relationships, and I was never the cheater. Always the cheat. No, I was there. No, but yeah, I think lying is one that comes out. But there's so many. I think like.
But I don't know.
I feel like sorry for the people that I used to just not care about, doing drugs or selling drugs, and just like the lives that you impact, like the flow-on effect of maybe it's not that person, but maybe it's their friend who did it because you did it, or like fighting.
I also did all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. For me, like the worst thing you could have done in your life would be something that you would regret your whole life.
Yeah, but I think
because I also stole things. I also lied to my mom, to my sister, to friends, to people I really cared for. But I don't know. Is there anything you regret?
I mean, I regret all the bad stuff, to be honest. I regret making people feel like that, but I feel the reason why I asked the worst thing you've ever done is because I feel like no matter what you say, in your head, yours is always worse than what the other person is going to say. Like worst things, like just hypothetically, if you said I killed someone and I said I killed someone, mine would be worse to me than yours would be. Like, if we've done the same things, we always have a perception that what we did was so much worse than what anyone else has done. I'm not saying everyone listening and watching has stolen or lied to their mums or hurt people or cheated or lied, but what I am saying is you always feel like your thing is worse than someone else's. And I think that's like, when you bring it to God with the things that you think you've done worse, do you feel like that's a barrier to like accepting him? Do you feel like, because I feel like where I was going with that is sometimes you wake up, it doesn't really happen anymore if I'm honest, but sometimes randomly I'll just think about something I did way back when to someone usually, and it's like just a playing on my head of that person's, or something someone did to me and I just can't get out of my head, and it's like the evil trying to separate me from God, because before you're saved those things matter. After you're saved, those things still matter, but we're forgiven for them and we're trying to be better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That's where my brain went.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get it.
But do those things come up in your life? Do you like ever wake up during the night and just have a random, or you're trying to go to sleep and you can't turn your brain off, or I wish I did this decision?
Yeah, of course. All the time, because you keep reevaluating your life and the decisions you've made and think, okay, if I hadn't done this, then my life could be this way. But I think God allowed you to go through all that so you can be the person you are today, so you can help other people.
So when you ask, do you regret anything? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, of course. But again, what I just said.
But God, when you say that, when you ask, do you regret anything? My thought is like, I should, like, regret all the bad things. Like, I don't like the bad things, and yes, I would take them back. But do I regret what has made me who I am right now today? No. Like, the bad things that happen, you losing your mum, for example, me getting hit by a car, they're just two things that come to my head. Those are both, like, separately horrible things, but that's who you are as David and who I am as Sean.
Yeah, correct. Because if mum was still alive, probably I would not be here in Australia. I would be, I don't know, maybe still in Colombia, doing I don't know what. But yeah, he allowed me to go through that, and for mom to pass, to be better. And sometimes, yeah, that's life, and God makes you go through all that drama and horrible things for you to change something in your life.
I don't think he makes you go through it, but he
allows you to go through situations.
He knows you have the strength because he can see what's in the future, but he knows you need to pick up another skill, or like, I don't know, I don't believe that God wanted me to get hit by a car or beaten to within an inch of my life in America, but I feel like he saw them coming and then he gave me the strength to get through them, so that down the line, when I bump into someone who's had a similar experience, there's like no barrier between me and them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of my story to help someone else have through their story, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all about God's adversity and trials and...
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, because
okay, so on that tangent, sorry to interrupt, but I'm impatient about ADHD as we were researching this morning.
That's okay.
But how do you say to someone, okay, I know there's a God, but why does God allow cancer? Because that's like a question that I used to struggle with. Of like, why does God allow people to pass, or pain or death? I know, like, my answer, or the answer that I've discovered, is like, He didn't allow us. He gave us, He created us with no sin, perfect world, and then Adam and Eve ruined it, and then Cain and Abel ruined it, and we kept on ruining it, and then we got to Jesus, and there's all this history of ruining and just doing the wrong thing, and Jesus says, no, I'm going to give you a way to be new. But we innately can't remove that sinful, we can't remove the bad that we allowed into the world. So that's why it's there. And then God realizes that, but through Jesus, He helps us deal with it. Mm-hmm. Is that how you would explain it, or different?
I don't know. I think it's a tricky thing to think about, because not just cancer, but any other.
No, I'm not saying specifically cancer, but like death, or like child, like the terrible things that happen to children, or like I think about Colombia, like the fact that they're third world and we're first world. Like, why?
I think again it goes to what God allows people to go through, to learn. But because let me tell you something, Colombia could be like so different. They could be first world as well, but corruption and so many things and wrong things like blind their eyes and make them do wrong things. So it's the decisions you make that fully change everything.
But how would you explain? I guess I explained that is my question, already got an answer of like a baby born and they've got an issue. It's because of the original sin that those things exist. But I think further, what you're explaining is like further sin and struggles and back is more because we have the saved and unsaved, and it's like it's a combined world full of sin. So there's all these people doing all this bad stuff, and then all these people trying to do their best and be better, and it just mixes to make where we live. Like a washing machine.
Yes.
No?
I don't know. I think if God wanted to fix everything, He could just do this, boom. We all would be okay. No hunger, no.
But if you had all those things,
poor people around,
what would you do?
Well, I guess it's.
Like, this is just training ground for heaven, isn't it?
But the Bible says you'll be given a new mind, a new body,
and there will be no sickness, and
correct.
We will still work, but we'll work for the things of God.
Yeah. You go through rough times to learn in this life and to teach others about Jesus' life. And I guess ultimately, yeah, Bible talks about go out and make disciples. So share the word to everyone. And that's our mission. Because we're working, that's okay. But the real mission, I guess, for us is to share the word.
To gather the kingdom.
Yeah.
To make the separated not separated. To help the sinful not be sinful. To fill the kingdom of God. Because if there's no disciples and no people here sharing and caring, then we're all going to hell.
No, not necessarily. Because you can believe in God, you know you're certain, you know, he's real. You have accepted him in your life. You're going to heaven. You know you'll be with him. But yeah, it's different for the others. I know I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm sure I'll see mom again and my brother and everyone that has passed, and that's great. You know, but I guess now that you know it,
but okay,
you need to help everyone else.
Yeah, but that's like I know or believe, or I feel like there's lots of work for, not work to get closer, but I feel like I could be so much better to be sure that I'm going to heaven. I think like I'm so far away from what Jesus shows us we need to be, so I want to be better, but I know that I'm going to a better place. What I don't know is the people that I love here are all going.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the decide, like, we know that we're going to a better place, but I don't know that my parents are going to a better place.
And that's when
because they won't profess that they are believers. My dad says he's going to heaven, but he doesn't say he believes. So it's like, I don't know that he's going, so I guess my works here are to be better, to show them, or to have them seek God.
I think that they know there's something powerful out there. They just don't know it's God, you know? They know there's a supernatural something that created the world, that created us, but they don't know it's Him. And that's when you need to like show them and share the gospel to them. And yeah, they might laugh or might be like, oh yeah, no, that's not the way it is. Oh, you know, I'm going to heaven or this and that. But deeply inside, they know they have not received God in their lives. And that's horrible because, you know, they're your parents. And of course you want them to go to heaven with you, right?
Yeah, but okay, for example, like, my uncle's like my second dad. And I don't know if he's in heaven. But I don't want that for, like, I don't know. I don't know if he received God on his deathbed. I don't know if he prayed to him himself. I really don't know. I hope to God that he is there, but I really don't know, because here on earth he wasn't a Christian or Catholic or anything. He, like, as far as I know. So I don't know, but I don't want that for anyone else. So I guess my whole purpose or works is, like, anyone I meet I care about. I want as many people as I know not to go to the other place.
Yeah.
Which is real also.
Yeah, that's very scary. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. But yeah, like going back to your parents, you wanting them to know God is great, but also I feel like, and not just you, everyone else shouldn't fall in that like selfishness of, I need this person to know Jesus because I want him or her to go to heaven so we can hang around, you know? It's like you need to leave all that aside and just keep sharing the gospel. Boom, boom, boom. At some point, God will reveal himself to them. And then is when they will accept.
We don't share the gospel of, like, God said this, Jesus. We just honestly try and live a good life so they can see it in us, and then they know that we go to church on Sunday. They know that we're Christians. They know that we've been baptized. They know these things because we share, like, what are you doing? We share this. But we want them to connect the dots of, oh, he's so different. And I know why, because he told me he went to church. He told me he was saved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
rather than gospeling.
Keep trying.
Ah, no, never quit.
Keep trying.
Even like just praying for them rather than speaking at them, I feel like